You're listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. Now, the largest new media platform on the web and your number one source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Gene. Johnson.
The AfterBuzz Studios in Los Angeles, California. Presented by Maria Menounos and Bing.com and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is AfterBuzz TV's Low Winter Sun After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AfterBuzz TV's Low Winter Sun After Show.
Everyone's waiting for me to do some kind of grunt, but I'm not giving it up this week. I'm not that easy. Hey, everybody. Bing is for doing, and we are here doing another Low Winter Sun After Show. This is episode 108, Revelations. I am Matt Lieberman, and joining me, as always, on the panel is the fabulous and lovely Miss Oriana Leo.
Hello there.
And the fantastic and talented Miss Stef Z.
Hey, guys. What's up?
Oh, man. And we have a special guest tonight. Trevor Long is calling in. He plays Sean on the show, and we're so excited to have him. So stay tuned for that.
And he's staying up late past his bedtime because he's in New York.
He's out on the East Coast, and it's after almost 10 p.m. here, which is quite a trip. He's almost up till 1 a.m. Poor guy.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna warn everyone in the room that I have a bit of cold. So if you hear a random,
so rude,
an off sniff, that's not drugs. That is pure trying to hold it together.
You should have called in too, man.
Well, oh yeah.
I'm just kidding.
You just didn't want to see my mug.
Here.
Thank you.
I'm happy
Thank
you're
you,
here
Oriana.
too. Just
Good.
don't get me sick.
Okay, so big episode this week, guys.
Huge.
Lots of stuff happened. Poor Katya, R.I.P.
Oh my God.
I know.
We knew that was going to happen. At least I did.
Someone was dying this episode. You could just feel it building. Someone was going to die.
Totally. And I was the only one who was like, oh, no, Joe's going to let her go.
Yeah.
He's giving her money to go to Florida.
It kind of made me love you a little bit more than I already do, that you were like nice guying, like, no, he's just going to let her go and he's going to protect her.
He seems
and we
really
were like,
sincere.
No.
But it just goes to show that he's that much of a sociopath. Like,
Yeah.
he will go to, the ends of the earth to
Right.
make someone feel comfortable enough to talk about their cousin and smoke a cigarette on a balcony with you.
Right.
And then downs.
Right. It was kind of awesome though, the build up to that when, jumping around a little bit, but he only finds out, like, we see Joe get a phone call. Well, then what needs to be done. And clearly he's getting that phone call because he's getting information that Frank is in touch with Katya through the IP address. When Frank's trying to have someone watch the IP address, he gets snubbed.
Mm-hmm.
Terrible.
I didn't see that coming at
Yeah.
all.
I didn't see that coming at all either.
I want to meet Joe's tech guy because he's apparently better than Cable.
Or at least he put a watch on it sooner than Frank did.
Yeah.
Because he knew after the first time that Frank went MIA, that's probably when he started watching Frank.
Oh, totally.
We're assuming
So.
it's Joe and not Skilos' team.
I'm assuming it's Joe because how else would he have wound up there?
Well, we don't know
Skilos
who
made
was.
the call and said, "Hey, there's a
Oh,
problem."
if he had gotten, if in exchange for stopping Damon from talking about Skilos is what you're referring to, then in return Skilos spied on Frank for him to keep it all under wraps.
I don't know.
That's possible.
Very plausible.
Very plausible because it wasn't revealed to us who was on the other end of the phone.
Yeah.
And that's
Because
the
it wasn't
nature of-
Boyd, it wasn't Danny, like it wasn't anyone in the, Detroit Police
And that's
Department.
the
I don't
nature of
think.
this show. Like, this episode's called Revelations.
Yeah.
It's just things keep getting
Twisted.
revealed. Especially, I couldn't believe we found out that Sean, we know that Sean and Frank used to be partners, but to know that Joe
And,
Frank
Frank used to be partners
on that case,
which completely recolors everything about
Yeah.
their relationship. Because we had all thought that they were never partners. He had always kind of like detested Joe to some degree, right? That they had never.
But it
crossed
makes
paths,
sense
really.
because he detested him because clearly something previously
went
happened
down.
Mhm.
where either they got in trouble and the department split them up as partners, because that can happen. Like,
Yeah.
it could be out of their hands. Or Frank was like, I need a partner, and Joe was like, I need a partner. Which makes sense because they both know a little bit of their weaknesses.
Yeah.
They know how to push each other's buttons.
right?
Well, do you think that whose idea do you think it was to fake the confession for the Lady Bell case? Was it Joe or was it Frank? And I feel like that's kind of the crux of why they no longer work together, is how that played out.
Absolutely.
Because at the same time, you'd think, immediately, it was Joe, right? Oh, it was Joe because Joe is a dirty cop. But they talked about obsession, and Frank worked that case for years.
Well, and they open up with Frank practicing in the mirror.
Yeah, he really wants this guy to go away.
Yeah, I feel like, I don't know. Whoa, my chair just went really high. I feel like Frank had a hand in that.
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
There's something really big and juicy that we don't know about yet.
Yeah.
That has to do with this Lady Bell case. That's going to color our vision of Frank.
Yeah. And was Joe and Frank partners before or after Sean? I'm
That's a good
guessing
question.
after.
Yeah.
But by just what's happening, but maybe not. Maybe one had to do with the other. Because we don't see Joe interacting with Sean, really. Maybe Joe came later. I don't know.
I feel like Joe came later. That's the impression that I got.
Yeah.
But who really knows? Because, you think about the kids, right? When did I almost called him Trevor? When did Sean and Maya have those kids? Did he have them while he was on the force? Because they're still young, and it seems like it's been years since Joe and Frank were partners, let alone Frank and Sean.
But let's remember what Sprague Graydon told us when she was a guest here, that the whole series happens in about 10 days. So historically.
But then that was also kind of rebuffed last week when they said something had happened 2 or 3 weeks ago. Earlier.
Yeah. So, but still, vaguely within a week or two, they're probably doing this. But yeah, I mean, the kids being so young, it makes me think that. Well, we also they shed light to that today. Sprague Maya says, I gave my kids up so that they would be safe. So we were all thinking it was because she was messed up in drugs, and the other thing. Which, yes, but I was more so thinking because maybe they couldn't provide for their kids, or maybe they weren't suitable parents. But tonight she sheds light that it's because she wanted to keep them safe.
Yeah.
Which is kind of a better situation than...
Hey, guys, pardon the interruption, but we have our guest on the line.
Hey, Trevor, you there?
Hey guys. Yeah, man. Can you hear me?
Yeah, thank you so much for coming on the show. How are you?
I'm good, man. Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Thanks
we're
for
so
staying
happy.
up so late for us.
Yeah, thanks, Trevor.
Yeah, no, my pleasure. I'm the only one up right now, so it's nice and quiet.
Sweet. So thank you for coming on the show. We love you on the show. You do such an amazing
thanks,
job.
man.
Your performance is so incredibly complex, and it's a real pleasure to watch you every week.
Oh, thanks, man. You guys do. I've been following you guys. You guys do a great job, really breaking it down and really saying stuff that I've never even caught myself. It's really good. It's really good you guys are doing it.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
We
You
heard
guys
a
are really fun
rumor.
too.
Oh, thanks. We heard a rumor from your castmate James Harvey Ward that you brought your own dirt from New York City. Is that true?
That is true. That was very sweet of him to say that. I don't know how he found that out, actually. But yeah, it is true. I did bring some dirt in a Ziploc baggie on the plane, and I thought I lost it once or twice, and I freaked out. But I had it the whole time. But I also used Detroit dirt too, so I got a little bit of both.
What did this New York dirt mean to you for your performance?
Well, it's just I don't know. It's just when you find things for a character like a shoes or something, you just get really attached to it. And when I was creating the character before I went to shoot, I just thought, this guy's really dirty. And, people I saw on the streets, I saw one guy in Detroit, my second day there, one of the writers, Brett Leonard, took me up the Cass Corridor, and there was a kid literally coming out of a liquor store, about 25, and he was smoking a crack pipe, and that was Sean, and he was covered from head to toe, in filth. I'm like, that's it.
Wow.
Jeez.
So yeah, it was my second day there, and so I'm like, give me more dirt.
Give me more dirt.
I need more dirt because this dude was just.
Yeah.
It was really He was
one
covered
Ziploc
in
was
that.
not going to be enough.
What's that?
This was more than a one Ziploc job. This was like a 20 Ziploc
Oh yeah,
job.
yeah. No, I kept filling the zip. Yeah, I had my own Ziploc. It was a pretty big Ziploc, like one of those freezer bags. But they also supplied me with some great stuff too. The costumes were pretty great. They had their stuff.
Totally.
I really liked
So
that
they
scene
look really dirty.
from last episode, I think it was, where Sean goes to touch Maya's hand, and you can see the difference in the cleanliness and the filth. At the bar.
Yeah. I knew that was. I wanted my fingernails. I like to keep even when I like to keep the fingernails dirty even when the dirt comes off.
So you're a real method actor?
No, not at all. In fact, one of the writers, Brett, always teases me that no, not at all. No, I think a method actor is someone who's in character 24/7. That is definitely not me.
Right on.
I am not. I'm a character when I'm on set, but when I go home, no.
So you're not really a crackhead.
Oh,
is what you're saying.
What's that?
I said, so you're not really a crackhead, is what you're saying.
No, not a crackhead. No. Yeah, didn't investigate that, but I'm not walking around the streets 24/7. No. Yeah.
Right.
Definitely not.
So I want to talk a little bit about what's going on in this guy's head, right? So in this episode, Frank picks you up. You know, this whole meeting with Maya gets you thinking about the kids, and you go to their school, you get arrested, they walk right past you. You know, what's going through this guy's head? How long do you think it had been since he had seen those kids?
It's been a while.
Yeah.
We lost custody. She gave him to her sister, and it's been a long time. And I just think seeing Maya, and the last time when I got kicked out of that bar like that, I just think something in Sean really needs her back in his life. I think he's reaching out to her. I think he does things to scream for help, in a screwed up way, and he's not getting it really. He gets the drugs instead of actually a hug and saying I'm there for you, which he doesn't get. So I think when he lost his kids, it broke his heart, and I think he fought for them, and I think she gave away. And in my mind, I think she gave him up, and I didn't want that.
Yeah.
Why am I going today? That's I think Frank coming back to me and sitting on that porch with him and smoking the crack and drinking the beer, and he's like, this girl got to me. It makes me really start to think of Maya.
Yeah.
Right.
And what we had. And I think it's starting to him coming back into my life kind of jolted me, kind of did something to me to reconnect.
Right.
Totally.
I think too when we had Sprague here a couple weeks ago, she kind of said it well that you guys were first love, and we don't know exactly what happens there. I don't know if we will, or we don't know exactly why you took a turn for the way you did.
Yeah.
But and Damon's her best friend. It's not as much of a connection with you. I mean, with Damon as it was with you. So and it's clear. You can see that. You can see that when you come back, she's still the way she looks at you. The way there's so much history there.
Totally shifts. Her character totally shifts in vulnerability when Sean comes in the room. It's totally true.
Yeah. Softens. She softens.
Yeah. They really. That's why I love the character and the scenes and all that with them, is because I think this is just not some homeless drunk guy. It's a guy who had it good, who was smart, probably a better cop than Frank, had a lot more empathy as a cop than Frank, and was really sharp. And he had a family, and he lost it. And I think they really had something wonderful together. And I think it kills them.
Wow.
I mean, anybody any of us could take that. You start partying a little too hard. Stef, I know you're good. Start partying a little too hard. Any of you guys can start partying a little too hard, and then you lose your job, and things start going worse. You start drinking too hard, and then you go. Then you're gone.
Yeah.
Make it happen.
Stef, I that he picked on you.
That's all right. I can take it.
Do you?
Nah, Stef, I'm just teasing because I know you got a good sense of humor.
I know.
Trevor, do you think that there's still any part of Sean that wants to really make an effort to get his life back?
Yeah.
Or has he been on the street for so long that
it doesn't occur to him that he can,
or that it's insurmountable?
Yeah, there's some stuff that you might see a little bit later that might kind of answer that, but I do think at points Sean, since he's been fucked up, I think Sean has screamed for help, and I think Sean does want someone there for him, and I think he's still very self-destructive in his choosiness and wants this, and there is a part of him that outwardly feels like, I'm happy, this is what I want, I chose this, I don't want that cop life, but I think in his unconscious and inwardly, I think Sean is definitely screaming for help, and I think I think he has tried to stop. I do think he's tried to he's never gone to rehab or that stuff, but I do think he's tried to really stop this at some point. And then now I think it's just no. I think he's full on he's choosing his path.
I could totally be projecting, but what I just heard was that he doesn't want the cop life anymore. So was that, and I know, if you can't tell us something, we're not trying to pry. We just don't know if we might have missed something. But is that, alluding to the fact that he left the force rather than he was kicked out? Like, I don't think we're still clear as why you're not a cop anymore. Or is that just something that we'll find out later?
Why? The reason I got kicked off was because of drugs. Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, like I feel like that's not clear. Like it's not clear if something happened in the force and you left and that you couldn't deal with it.
I think I was a heavy drinker. We had discussions about this. I think I was a heavy drinker. Like all the cops are, and I think I started doing a little bit. I think I started, the drugs started coming in on the job a little bit. And then it got a little out of hand, and then, I was forced to leave. But I also think Sean chose that. I think Sean wanted to get kicked off. I think Sean couldn't take it anymore.
That's his self-destructive streak, especially.
Right.
Yeah, I just think Sean, the way I saw the character was I think the job got to him. Like I say that in that one scene when I'm in Frank's house. You can't bring this job home, but, it gets in your mind. I think Sean cared too much. I think it emotionally screwed with his emotions and head too much that he just couldn't handle the pressure anymore.
It broke him on some level.
I feel like he's more idealistic than Frank, and that working in a town like Detroit hit him in a way that it hasn't hit Frank yet.
But you can still see that you have the senses of a cop. Like even in this episode when Frank makes you show your face at Katya's website, Sasha, Katya, same difference. And then it's clear that you're sleeping and maybe drunk or intoxicated, whatever at that point in time. But you still the next morning are alert enough to know, A, that he's doing something he shouldn't be doing, and B, that there's a tail. Like you're aware. You still have that heightened awareness.
Yeah, I caught.
So
I think, like that, I caught that. I think Sean caught that tail when he was in pain with a tooth when he came in. That's how observant he is. He's very, very, very observant as a cop. He still got his mind like that. Yeah.
So I think it's really interesting that it's like Sean really is crying out for help, and maybe he just needs tough love. And whether he needs it or not, Frank definitely dishes it out with that tooth pulling scene.
Oh my
God.
I couldn't watch, and I'd have to say I'm a pretty tough cookie.
She had to close her eyes.
I couldn't watch it.
If there has ever been a tough cookie in the history of cookies, it was Stef's. It is Stef's.
I totally
but she couldn't watch it.
I crumbled. I need pliers.
I watched it, but I squealed like a piggy the whole time.
I screamed like a 5-year-old girl.
How was that filming?
How was what?
How was it filming that scene? It was an extensive shot.
Interestingly enough, we were supposed to shoot that during the day, and scheduling got all screwed up, and everyone was so like crazy tired and kind of at their end, and we shot that like 1:30 in the morning, and it kind of went fast. It was great. It kind of just happened, and Mark was fantastic, and we just improvised. We really went off the script, and originally they were supposed to handcuff me to a radiator and all that, but we didn't do that, and then we kind of just created it right there, and it was pretty funny. I mean, it was fun doing it, actually.
It didn't look
and they
fun.
had these big rubber things on the pliers. They had these big, so he had those pliers in my mouth. I was biting down on it, but he had big. That was, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
That scene went pretty quick and fun.
Yeah. So, from my understanding, is this your first kind of big show?
Yeah, don't tell anybody.
No. You're amazing. I mean, sorry.
Thanks.
But
No, it's my first I've never been on TV before.
yeah, that's what I heard.
Congratulations.
So congratulations. You're doing
thank
an
you.
amazing job. And I feel like something that everyone has talked about on this show is how great your cast is. Like, man, you got a good introduction to the TV world.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I got great introduction, amazing people, amazing scripts, and just it couldn't have been a better way to showcase the work and to connect to that that medium. It was great.
Yeah.
I love it.
Dude, and I hate to like nerd out, like actor nerd out, but seriously.
Yeah, go do it, Matt.
Okay. But seriously though, the scene between you and Frank when you're smoking the crack on the front porch with the cat is like one of my favorite, potentially my favorite scene, just from an acting perspective that I've seen all year. Like it's so layered what you two are doing, because you both are coming from this very deep place. You're connecting, but at the same time you're dealing with completely different things, and it's the way that it's shot and the timing of it, and how like just the fact that you keep going back to this cat, and he finally breaks and the wall kind of comes down. It's just such a beautiful, brilliant scene, dude. And I just I can't not.
Thanks, man.
I can't not just get jazzed thinking about it.
Mad props.
Thank you. Not to take. I mean, I think honestly, Brett Leonard, who I actually know, who's the writer of that episode, we're in the same theater company actually, and I'm used to his writing, but it was one of those scenes, the way it was written and the way they shot it. It was like kind of like the scene in the car with Brando in the waterfront. It was like actor proof. Like it was so, all you had to do was sit there and kind of do it.
Yeah,
it was so well written and so well shot and so well directed that, to me, I agree, man. It was one of my favorite scenes. I loved it. I thought it was
proof.
such
I
a
like
beautiful,
Mm-hmm.
like really great, sad, weird, funny scene. It's just, yeah.
To me,
Thanks,
it's something. It shows the potential of this show, and it showed very clearly what kind of show it is. Because even though it is a cop drama, even though there's kind of this conspiracy element in them trying to cover up the murder, to me, that scene is what the show is. It's not a it's not a cop drama. It's a drama about people in this situation and how their life in Detroit affects them.
And cherry on top, can I just say, you had a line, Trevor, that was, "Looks like we all in deep."
That's true.
In this episode.
In this episode,
And that kind of, I feel like, covers it all. Is that everyone's in deep together.
Yep.
Yeah, there's no one that's just, I mean, you see tonight, too, how Lieutenant Dawson is just, like everyone is somewhat layered into this screwy system that we've got. It's crazy.
Yeah, and I think what Matt said too is great, because I think that scene on the porch, especially with Frank, it really shows. It's a scene about relationships, and the show, like Matt was saying, I think the show, and Chris Mundy has said this, the showrunner said, it's a show about people fighting for second chances. Sean's fighting for it in that scene. Like, maybe I'm going to connect with Maya. Frank's like that glimpse of like, I just want someone in my life that's good and that I love, and it's definitely about someone who people have done really screwed up stuff, like ruin your life with drugs, like kill someone, and they're trying to fight for a second chance, and that's what's beautiful. I think the scene really hits that. It really hits that nerve in that scene. I think you're right.
Yeah.
I think it shows it.
And it honestly, it's what's so heartbreaking about the whole series. Like, everyone feels almost doomed to some degree. There's this heavy pallor of just bleakness. It's a dying city. Everyone talks about it in every episode, and all these people just want one glimpse of something bright. Right. And God, I just want it to happen for anybody.
Yeah.
Well, it's like the crabs in the bucket metaphor. When this one crab tries to crawl out of the bucket, another crab will pull it right back in.
Ooh.
And that's actually how it is if you look at a bucket of crabs. And that's why it's so hard to rise up out of poverty and out of other things, is that there's always someone to pull you right back down. Yeah. And that's kind of what they're in.
Totally.
Misery loves company. Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So,
That's true.
yeah, that's so Yeah, you're amazing though, man. You really, really are. For your
thanks.
first thing, like, I mean, we're all hoping for a season 2 of Low Winter Sun.
Yeah.
But we know
know.
whatever you're in, it's gonna
too.
be amazing. But it's just it's very awesome too. Like, this show's definitely had a shift in the past few episodes. Like, I think that
it really kicked it up.
yeah, I think was it No, it was James. When we had James in as one of our guests, he was saying, like, and we agreed with him that this show it asks a lot of the viewer in the beginning, because there's a lot going on and you really have to invest your time. But now that we have, like,
So
and I'm
worth
not
it.
saying that just because, like, I know Sprague and whatever, but, like, it's kind of one of my favorite shows on TV ever. Like, I love this show. I love it. It's great.
I did too. I mean, it's a lot to ask. It is confusing, some of it, but if you stay with it, I think it really, unfolds and it makes sense, and it brings a lot. I think it gives the viewer a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, I definitely do, and it's starting to really notch up.
Well, it
crank
makes
up
you
now.
think.
The 9 and 10 are gonna be-
Yeah, it makes you think
Makes
too.
you think.
It's not just
Yeah.
like a popcorn show where you're like watch it and
Yeah,
you're
you're
like,
not
oh,
getting
okay,
fed
cool, I
everything.
was distracted. You
Yeah.
got to be like, oh my god, this is why that could have happened and this and that, and it's so fun to talk about and dissect.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, it's
My
novelistic.
kind of thing. I like a slow burn. That's my kind of thing too.
Totally.
Slow burn.
Yeah.
No, it's novelistic, but in an entirely different way than, say, The Wire is novelistic. Like that, it's a slow build where you see how crime affects every area in Baltimore, but this is far more of these are our people, we don't know much about them yet, but we're going to give you as much information as you need to understand what happens when I push you off this ledge and you start falling through their lives.
Literally.
Like Katya tonight.
Oh.
Jesus.
Oh yeah, poor Katya.
Oh man, that scene! Seriously, I knew the scene when I saw it. I literally out loud was like, "Oh my god!" And I knew it was coming. I was just like, "Oh Jesus!" It's a great scene.
Great scene.
Yeah.
Great scene.
Oh.
And Lenny James is incredible in this episode. I just was like, "Whoa!"
Oh.
He really opened wide, like, this character in this episode.
He just tore it up. You can see his anguish just plain on his face when his
So
daughter
good.
finally hugs him.
Yeah, but what a smart guy, man. Such a smart idea. Buy tickets to the opera and be like,
Great
dance
alibi.
company.
oh, well,
dance
whatever,
company.
dance to
Yeah.
a show and be like, oh, last minute tickets, we couldn't sit together. Dude, that is smart.
Mhm.
It's sociopathic, is what it is.
I mean,
Totally covered.
I think it's really smart.
The dude's a genius, but he uses his genius for evil. Stef.
And then he just goes to church and gets some Hail Marys and calls it a day.
Oh.
Yeah, he struggles with his faith. I love that scene with him and Dawson on top of the building. That
Yes.
scene is when Dawson puts it together.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yep.
Oh yeah, no. I
Great
literally
scene.
I sat bolt upright when I'm like, "Oh my god, he just figured it out."
Yeah.
Oh
Figured it out.
shit.
But it was crazy too to see that Dawson is so dirty too. Like Joe was like, if I'm going down, you're going
Yeah.
down.
That's the
What-
crabs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
what? It's the crabs.
It's the crab.
the
Dawson,
bucket
we're
of
not trying to
crabs.
say you have crabs. No.
Crabs are killing him.
But yeah, it was that was like, wow. The plot thickens even more because I always thought he was a little dirty, but he was like naming names like this one, that one, this one, that one. So he had a laundry list.
Dawson trusted Geddes and McCann, signing off. He didn't know how deep he was in, but he wasn't doing things that were on the up and up for sure.
Yeah,
And
well-
now he's screwed because they've got him implemented. So
Mhm.
he's got to probably follow through and do what he's got to do.
Yeah, and Frank's just losing his shit.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, which I love seeing. I love seeing Frank unravel. It's really
Totally.
good.
Because like that's the thing. Mark plays from such a place of strength that
Yeah.
to see him be low status in any way
Yeah.
is electrifying because he doesn't want to be there. He doesn't
Right.
want to be
Yep.
there,
That's
and
right.
he's just a barrel of nerves, and it's awesome.
Yeah.
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 So what do you have upcoming, Trevor? What are you working on next? Any more TV or is it all theater?
No TV right now. I'm trying to put this feature film together with my brother. We're trying to get that going, and we're gonna hopefully shoot soon.
That's wonderful.
Kickstarter.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, Kickstarter's good. We've got some funds raised, and we're gonna try to. I might try to bring some people in from the crew, and from Low Winter Sun definitely, and try to shoot this in New England soon. That's my main goal right now.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Do you have a title? Is there a title yet that our
The film
listeners
is
can
called
look
Siege.
out for?
Yeah, it's
Siege.
a psychological thriller. Like
Great.
Shining meets Lolita. It's dark, but it's good.
Sweet.
Sweet.
I'll be looking out for that.
New England. You're a New Yorker though, right?
Yeah, I'm actually in Rhode Island right now tonight for the weekend, but my family lives out here. But I live in New York. Yeah.
Sweet. I'm a New Yorker. I'm a New
You
Yorker.
guys all LA people?
No, I'm a New Yorker, man. We find each other.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but she
Cool.
lives in LA.
I
that's
do.
right.
I live in LA.
Yeah.
I go to New York a lot. Though.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. That's it. You're from New York.
Yeah.
Cool. I love LA too.
Yeah. It's
all
a good.
good.
It's all right. It's a good place to be.
Yeah. It's a good place
Yeah,
to be here at
I think
AfterBuzz
so.
TV.
Yeah. So I as much as I love this conversation, I just want to steer it back into LWS for a second.
Did you just really call it the acronym?
I did just call it the acronym. Sue me. I want to talk about Sean and Damon and kind of the contrast between them. So like,
Yeah.
Sean's ex-wife, you lose her, and then she not only does she marry another guy, she marries a known criminal, and she's using your bar as the base of operations.
Yeah, but if you break that down from known criminal, just from a woman's perspective, you date somebody that is your first love, and you fall in love, and it's this blissful thing, and it doesn't work out for some reason, you go completely the opposite end because you don't want to deal with that again. Like, I feel like that's an emotional thing. I mean, it plays a lot, but I feel like there's an underlying emotional thing with that too.
Totally.
Do you agree? Okay.
I totally agree.
Yeah.
I think
Trevor?
it's
That's
immature.
true.
Yeah.
It's immature and probably related to kind of being a small town as much of it's. As
Well,
it's a
and you
big
don't have
city.
to deal. Like,
You
you
don't
don't have to, like, Maya is not emotionally connected to Damon the way that she was to Sean.
Yeah.
So you don't, you take a level of dealing with shit out of it.
When I look at Damon, I just think she must not have had many options.
Yeah, but that's when I look at Maya, you think
You
she
think
does.
she got options because
She
everybody
is-
wants her.
Everybody wants her, and she is a powerful, strong
Yeah.
woman.
But for what she wanted, she didn't have many options, it seems like. She just went from one pendulum swung to the other side, and then she just stuck.
Right.
But how did that feel? Do you think for Sean?
Well,
I mean,
I'm
obviously
sure it facilitated
bad.
his downward spiral,
Yeah.
right, Trevor?
What's that?
Do you think it facilitated his downward spiral?
It's interesting. I was gonna put that back on. I mean, it's not clear, but my sense was, I mean, this could be totally off, and it's not, really clear, but my sense was Maya might have been getting into some bad things when we were together, and that possibly, I think Maya had the addiction before I did. I think Maya had problems with drugs before Sean did. That's my sense. I could be totally wrong, and I think she introduced me to drugs.
And
And
you
it
took
might
it a
have been
step too
because
far.
she was dealing stuff that was already kind of shady.
That's why she
Mhm.
feels so bad.
That's kind of how I saw it. But you know what? I don't know. But she's so good at it. She's so like in the mix of it already.
Right.
You
Yeah.
know, with what she was doing, Damon, she's building the blind pig. She's doing the drugs. She's doing this.
She couldn't have
She's
gone
gonna
into
pick
that
herself.
without any previous experience, you're saying.
Yeah, I think Maya, she owned a bar. She's been around a lot of people that are in that world. I just think that Sean possibly started doing blow through Maya, then the crack started to come in, and then it got out of hand with both the bars. What I kind of saw it,
Yeah.
and I
Interesting.
thought she was probably smoking crack when she was pregnant with her second child.
Oh,
I mean,
wow.
that's my sense.
Yeah.
I don't think it was good.
Doesn't get darker
Yeah.
than that.
Yeah.
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 No, what
And
I
she got clean.
yeah.
I say that to her. You got yourself cleaned up. Good for you. In that scene in the bar.
Oh,
Mhm.
yeah.
And she got off the drugs, the addiction, and she got clean, and I didn't. And
Yeah.
then I somehow, we were doing drugs together. She kicked me out of the house. I became homeless, and it just went down from there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
She got clean.
Do you think
Maybe because she had Damon.
Yeah. I don't know. What had occurred to me, especially as you were
Yeah.
telling us earlier about, the job got
Mhm.
to him, is that maybe he had to cover some stuff up for her. Like she'd gotten into some shit and he had to get her out of it.
That's it. Definitely just gets the sense that Maya was shady in some degree when we were together.
Totally.
I don't.
Right.
That's just that could be. I think that's what it is. I don't know. But yeah, I think they definitely love each other. But I think they were both addicts for sure.
Right.
All right, Trevor. I just wanted to. We're getting a little interference on your line there. Are you all right? Can you hear us?
Hello?
Yeah.
I can hear you.
Okay. I really appreciate you coming on the show. I think we need to
Hello?
turn. You there?
Yeah.
Okay. I just wanted to thank you for coming on the show. We need to move on to Danny and Boyd and start wrapping stuff up. But I just wanted to say again, thank you so much for talking to us. We had a great time talking with you, and we love your work on the show, and best luck in everything.
Thank you.
Yeah, we can't wait to see more of you, Trevor. Thanks so much
And
for
tell
calling.
the people what your Twitter handle is so people can follow you and find you.
Oh, okay. No, I'm just Twitter, but it's it's Trevor Long. Is it Trevor Long at Geddes, right? Yeah.
T Diddy Long at T Diddy Long.
At T Diddy Long on Twitter.
Yeah,
on Twitter.
At Diddy Long. That's on Twitter, and then I'm on Facebook too.
All right, great. Thank you, man.
Thank you for calling
Thank
and
you.
staying up
Have
late.
a good night.
Thank you. He's gone.
All right.
Can you hear me now?
So yeah.
Great.
Amazing. What a guy. I love this voice.
I know.
I love him.
You can feel the Sean in him.
Yeah, you
know?
can totally feel it.
There's so much warmth there.
Yeah.
He's just such a nice
a
guy.
good dude.
And he's
yeah.
been listening, which is kind of awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, that is really awesome.
I don't think he
That
knew how
makes
to
me
pronounce
happy.
my name because he didn't say my name, and I felt a little offended.
He didn't say
It's
my name
just
either.
Oreo.
Did he?
Yeah.
Well, it's only one syllable, so.
You really are that sensitive.
I am.
To be fair, he didn't say my name at all. I
When
wasn't
you're
even
not
dressed
here,
during
you
the
think we forget
podcast.
about you.
You know what? We were
Phil Svitek, our wonderful engineer. And
Phil,
executive
the
producer.
executive. Yes. Okay.
I'm sorry, but we were having a Twitter conversation for about 2 weeks,
Oh my goodness.
so I felt like
So tawdry.
it's
Yeah.
it's Oriana.
Oh.
All right, moving
well,
on.
Or you
he'll-
can just call her Oreo like I do. But she
No.
got called that in high school and she doesn't like it.
Elementary school.
And
Elementary
now
school.
the internet has found out.
Really don't like it.
Yeah.
Guys, there's a show on
Yeah,
TV
moving
and it's
on.
called Low Winter Sun.
And it's so
I would
good.
like
Over.
to talk about it.
Let's go there.
If we have time.
Okay, sniffles.
Thanks. Thank you. Thanks, Steph. Thanks, Steph Z. Your name is already a nickname, so it's like impossible to re-nickname you because you've nicknamed yourself. Anyway. So
yeah, who does that, by the way?
Danny tapes
Holy
Frank.
shit,
Can
Danny!
you believe that?
Yeah.
She's
It's
like,
'cause
don't
you-
fucking run on me. Whoops.
It's because he was a not a nice man to her one
I'm
day.
just saying.
Yeah.
He played that
was Such a
wrong.
dick. He was such a dick. And I was just like, you dick.
And I was like, yeah, but he had to put her in her place.
But he
No,
didn't.
no, he
had
was a dick.
He had
He
to
was.
keep her close. He's not being a good detective.
Yeah, but do you think that that she was trying to tape him and play him before he was a dick, or she was
No,
like,
that was
he's being
after.
a dick, so I know something's up.
No,
now.
that was when he had blood on his shirt. He had blood on his shirt.
Yep.
And he was a dick. He was a dick.
Yeah, but
and
that's when she taped him.
No,
No,
she
she
taped
taped him
him
the next time.
later.
Okay.
When she said, how'd you
My
meet
fault,
Katya?"
my fault, my
Yeah.
fault.
No.
But look, what about Boyd and Marmalade? Because he's the one.
Boyd is
Boyd is
Marmalade.
Marmalade.
I know, but okay. What about Boyd's Marmalade?
Yeah.
Who shows up at her house and she's saying, "Don't come here.
Yeah.
I'm uncomfortable. This is not okay." And he just sort of like,
He put-
"Okay, word," and walks right in.
He planted the smarmy seed of doubt.
Yes.
Yeah, that was last
the
week, though, no?
dribbler.
I know, the dribbler. He dribbled all over.
Yeah.
But then this carries over so that she. Is
That's why I'm saying if that's what
churning and
happened,
churning.
has she maybe been as soon as
Turn.
after that
Contact.
conversation working up to this footage that she gets
has
from
she turned?
Yeah.
She's turned, dude. She's
She's
turned
turned.
sideways.
Totally.
But you know what the thing is? She's turned sideways, and we're all here being like, "Oh my God, she turned on him! Like he freaking killed someone."
Yeah.
She's just being a good cop.
Yeah,
Mhm.
she is being a good cop. But
Go,
she's-
Danny. We like.
But
you.
she's
Yeah.
still, it's in an annoying way because I know I'm that love-hate person where I'm always raising my hand in class. I know the answer. And the professor's like, We're not asking you.
Hey, she's the one honest cop on the force.
So far.
So far. So,
And I'm sure she's not going to tell anyone on the force that she's slept with Frank.
Yeah.
She might. If it's
We'll see. We'll see if it
testimony.
plays. We'll see if it plays because all she really asked Frank about was his relationship, and Frank could turn around and be like, "She asked me about that, and she's making this up because I slept her and left."
Except she taped it.
Right, but it doesn't.
What does
it
it implicate?
Yeah,
That's the question.
Katya. So clearly, Katya is someone that Boyd has to know about. It implicates the prostitute, and when he knows the
But he
Eastern
already knew
whatever,
that there was an Eastern European prostitute in play. So it connects them.
It connects the dots because she was in play to Brendan's death.
Yeah, she connected Bobek and Anton
because
and
we see
Brendan.
Boyd take Dawson to the restaurant where they killed him.
Yeah.
They killed Brendan.
Yeah. So which begs the question,
How
how
does
did he find
know?
it?
Yeah. I mean, they turned the water on, so I don't know if they did some water testing in some crazy
You know what it
something
probably
at that
was?
restaurant
It
that
had
they have.
GPS. The water had GPS on it.
You know what it probably was? I bet if we go back, it'll say the last place he was seen was that restaurant. Or like there was at some point either in the pilot or the second episode they talk about the last place Brendan was seen.
Yeah, and how he was really drunk.
Yeah.
Right.
So it could very well be very well that he.
There's got to be something in that water, like chlorine or some bullshit that matches up from tested water in his system.
We'll find out.
Yeah,
won't we?
well, hopefully. There's
Hopefully.
a lot of loose ends to tie up next week.
I know. Big 2-hour season finale.
Crazy.
I know.
I mean, can you imagine all of these self-kills
Mm-hmm.
that Brendan, and Joe, I can't believe how dirty this whole department is. Like, it goes so beyond, like his character said, it looks like we all in deep. They're all in deep together, and it seems like
they're all in deep together, but not together as like one.
No,
they're
not together as
separately
one,
all in.
But knowing that if they do something bad, they can just implicate someone else, and that will keep their mouth shut.
Right.
Yeah. And Joe left all his fingerprints in the room.
Yeah, dude, that was like a little bit too leading that Joe's gonna wind up getting caught.
I think that Joe's a smart cop, and he would wipe it all down and leave. But that's
He
boring.
didn't have,
so
but he didn't have time. He had to get back to the Alvin Ailey Dance Company.
why wouldn't he just take the curtain and use that to close the door?
Why wouldn't he just leave it open, walk out?
Yeah, and make it look like a
Because
freaking
clearly it's
clown.
like they're gonna find the body and they're gonna check
Oh
every
yeah,
floor.
that was dumb.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like they're gonna find the body and they're gonna check every floor, every angle that she could have possibly, every trajectory she could have possibly
Well,
flown
I'm
from.
sure that they probably have someone who can say she fell from approximately this many feet.
Well, also,
Yeah.
she's a prostitute. There's a stack of may or may not be any money left in the room. He could have stayed. I mean, we never know what he's going to do. He's a mastermind. He's been getting away with this for a really long time. So
Buck stops here.
By the skin of his teeth, though.
by the skin of his teeth, but I think, I don't know. I knew he was going to kill Katya, and I think he's going to get away with it.
Well, the only thing too about the fingerprints, if for some reason he gets called to the scene of this crime, then his fingerprints will be there anyway.
Yeah.
But it's a little bit
that
shady.
might be a good projection into the night.
Prediction?
Prediction's the word I was looking for.
Oh my.
magic.
Oh my.
Your AfterBuzz TV.
Or
Predictions. Oh my goodness. Okay. Well, I want to hear some more predictions. Stef Z, do you have any firm predictions for next week? The big finale.
It's the big finale, so
2
it's everything.
hours.
2 hour prediction. I mean,
Yeah,
I feel like it's gonna be a shocker.
Yeah.
I feel like as much as things tie together, it's gonna kind of be the moment that we're like when Frank got the phone call and was like, "You're already being someone like you're leading them right to her."
Yeah.
It's gonna be a complete left, like out of
Right.
nowhere. It's gonna be like boom over here,
Right.
different direction.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna see that Frank's moral compass is upside down. I think we're gonna see him do some bad things. He's really emotional. He's gonna find out that Katya is dead. I mean, it's gonna be really bad. He's already laying in her bed on camera, webcam right now.
He's lost.
He's really lost it. So I think that downward spiral is gonna continue, and Danny and Boyd are gonna bring the heat. And I don't know what sort of magic trick.
I think we've got at least one death next week, and someone winds up in cuffs. I don't know who, but I think we're going to get an arrest in the murders of Anton Bobek and Brendan McCann. I just don't know who it's going to be.
I can also predict that we're probably going to do the after show on Monday night instead of Sunday.
Yes.
And I can also predict that I'm not going to be here. Unfortunately, I'm going to miss the finale. I got asked to be part of this amazing project called the Friend Movement. So if you guys can go check it out, friendmovement.com. We're actually doing a anti-bully campaign walk from Chicago to New York. Filming it, making a documentary.
Wow. That is so cool.
So
what is
yeah,
it
check it out.
again?
It's called the Friend Movement.
The Friend Movement.
So if you just go to friendmovement.com.
Is that about being friends and not bullies?
Well, it's there's a lot of anti-bully campaigns out there, and this is like, it's not just that, showing everyone that message. It's a pro message. It's pro friend. It's, we're kind of all the same. There's a lot of stuff that, differences that divide us, and we don't really need to do that. And
I don't know, Matt. Is she allowed to leave for that cause?
For that cause, I deem you worthy of leaving.
I also deem you worthy of leaving.
Word.
But we'll
As
miss
long as you
so
show
much.
the symbol.
What's the symbol?
This, can I do it?
I said yes.
Yeah.
So this really, there's a campaign.
Sure.
And they're taking pictures of people, celebs and whatnot, where they're flipping off the camera. So the new F word is friend. So it's like when someone makes fun of you or something, your inner monologue wants to say like "fuck you."
Yeah.
So instead, it's saying like "friend." So it's
Friend
a pretty
you.
neat
Friend
campaign.
you.
So
Yeah.
you're saying that you're a celebrity.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying that I got asked to do a real. I've actually spent time going to schools and talking about bullying in the past, and I've traveled interviewing people. So they asked me to come aboard, and it's a great opportunity. I'm really stoked.
Wonderful. Congratulations.
Yeah, thanks.
We're
So
so
all you guys
happy
check
for
it out.
you.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
Well, it's just going to be the two of us?
Yes, next Monday. So please come back for that. Oriana, Leo, where can the people find you?
The people can find me at Twitter, and I'm going to spell it out since you guys do it every time, at Miss Oriana Leo, MissOrianaLeo.
MissIPPI.
Uh-huh.
The people can find me on Instagram and Twitter at IAMSTEFZ.
All right. And you can find me on Twitter at Matt Lieberman. That's MattLieberman. And you can also find me here on AfterBuzz TV on the Sleepy Hollow, Sons of Anarchy, and Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. after shows.
Oh, yeah, me too. I'm
Yeah.
going to be doing Happy Endings on HBO, so please tune into that.
Okay.
Now that
no,
we've-
Hello Ladies?
Hello
on-
Ladies.
That's what
Hello
I meant.
Ladies.
That's what I meant. Sorry. Hello,
Yeah.
ladies.
Hello
It's
Ladies on
late.
HBO.
I'll be gone for a few weeks, but then I'll be back on Shark Tank and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Now that
Wonderful.
we've had our spelling
I
lesson.
know.
All right. Big thanks to Trevor at T. Diddy Long, and
Yes.
we will see you later. Good night.
Word.
From Bing.com, executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
That's BUZZYOULATER.